Are our candidates going to really have to start limiting their exposure after this second assassination attempt?
You know, it's an interesting question. The Secret Service has talked for a while now about how the golf courses in particular and former President Trump's time on the golf courses poses a unique problem to them. I would say that members on Capitol Hill and the task force associated with the first assassination attempt are going to explore that pretty robustly. I mean, they've been concerned about these outdoor rallies and then also golf courses. I'm not aware of any other areas that are a major concern for them. But those are two, and that's obviously what happened yesterday.
Are we benumbed to the chaos? I mean, you know, the headline gunfire at Trump Golf Club, latest jolt in chaotic 2024 race. Henrietta, is this America numb in this odd election campaign?
I think at this point, it's not wrong to say that. I would just, point to the market and point to the reaction that we have not seen from markets in the way that we saw back in the early part of this summer when there was sort of an explosive response to the first assassination attempt. So I do think there is a bit of numbing. Obviously, no one was harmed in this case, thankfully. So it's very different, a stark contrast to the first one. And I would maybe point out that the problem we have here, the sort of very discomforting piece for me, is we're going to have data to back up where people feel this attempt was resonating from. Was it from a lone gunman? Was it from, members of one political party or another? We're going to have data that contrasts yesterday to earlier this summer. And that's going to be a really stark comp that I wish I didn't have to look at.
Henrietta, is there any way, or I guess the question is, how will both campaigns deal with this latest piece of news, do you think?
Well, I guess I'd back out just a little bit and say what investors should expect and what pollsters should be looking at or what we're going to get. The next data set is going to be the lag of data from the debate. So what I published for clients last night was that Harris has seen a pretty momentous rise in the polls. She was at, +1, +2, +3. Now she's in +4 to +6 range. And that doesn't even include the state specific data. So the next round of information we're going to receive should be very positive for Kamala Harris. And that's going to be really confusing because we just got this starkly negative data point against former President Trump with the attempted assassination. So there's going to be this very discordant release of data from polls that's obviously lagging and giving us last Tuesday's debate versus what has just happened. So I think it's probably going to be superseded rather quickly. And then we won't see anything from President Trump's uptake, if there is any in the polls, until next week. I guess if you wanted to see it quicker than that, look at fundraising data and Republican voter registration data. That's probably the best we're going to get.